Welcome to Barcelona, Spain. Bienvenidos a todo el mundo viendo. Hoy estamos ahora en un double-decker bus tour. We are today in the double-decker bus tour. I almost forgot to speak in English. I'm Ariel. This is Urbanist. Let me know where you're watching from. Right now we're taking the city sightseeing tour. I spent €33 for this tour. It's split into 3 sections. I think 2 sections are currently running. There's the orange section and there's the green section. Right now we're in the orange one, which we're going to see one half of the city. Let me know where you're watching from. We're going to enjoy the bus tour. I'm not going to speak too much, not to disturb the people around me, but I hope you enjoy the views of beautiful Barcelona, which is one of the largest cities in Spain, one of the largest cities in all of Europe, in the top 5, I think it is, and I'm so excited. Let's go. So welcome everyone. We're going to see beautiful Barcelona. I'm going to speak a little bit lower to not interrupt the other guests, but let me know where you're watching from and let's enjoy. So we're already starting to see the gorgeous architecture of Barcelona, just absolutely stunning everywhere we go. To me, this reminds me a whole lot of Paris, but I don't know, it seems cleaner than Paris. I'm kind of surprised how clean and neat and orderly it is. Paris is beautiful, but it feels like a hectic city. And Barcelona feels clean, but doesn't have that immense sheen that Vienna has. It's a little bit more real than Vienna, a bit more clean and orderly than Paris. It's stunning. I love this city.
Inside or the outside? Oh, it's okay. Just plug me in. Number 3.
Hello, Bill. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Alfred. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Elizabeth. Rougemage and Marit, nice to see you here. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, Susie. Welcome, everyone. Let me know if you hear me when I'm speaking on this more whispered level. Elizabeth, nice to see you here. Am I running with the bulls? No, that's more southern Spain. Catalonia, where we're located right now, the region of Spain, has actually outlawed bull riding, bullfighting they were the first to outlaw it. The Spanish government amended that, but they still don't bullfight here, really. It's not a cultural thing in this region of Spain. Doug, welcome from Massachusetts. Thank you for tuning in for the live video. So the area we are in, Catalonia, the Catalan region, isn't really Spanish. It's its own thing. At least that's what the people here consider themselves to be. So a lot of the typical Spaniard things you think about, bullfighting, bull riding, sangria, even tapas, Other things like that, or flamenco, are not really from this area. They're from the southern Spain or other parts of Spain. Elizabeth, it is sunny, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, a bit chilly in the shade, a bit warm in the sun. Kind of hard to dress for this weather, so you gotta bring like a very light layer, like a light jacket. A bit more humid than New York that it is in the wintertime. And here are all the languages offered. So you have Catalan, Spanish, English, French, everything. You even have one of the Indian languages, probably Hindu, Hebrew, all the languages. Even Filipino, which is awesome. Janice says, is Salamanca near Barcelona? No, I think Salamanca is southern Spain, I think.
Cinco lugares, fala aí, 5 lugares só.
Manda mensagem pra
São
ela.
juntos?
Janice, thank you so much for 50 stars. George says it's going to be 67 degrees Fahrenheit. In Detroit, it's warmer in Detroit than it is here. Here is about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. A little bit less at this time. Nat says, hey, look at you traveling the world, come to Australia. I can't wait to go to Australia. I'm going to need a little bit bigger budget for Australia, but I'm super hyped when I have the chance to go. Kosti says, nice to see Ariel entertaining our lunch break. Hey, Kosti, my pleasure. Hope you're having a nice lunch. Marina says, the majority of the cities you visit are clean and well maintained from what I see. Yeah, it makes you think. It makes you think as an American, you know, we have so many awesome things about our country, and we are the richest country in the world still. And yet, I don't know why our cities are not as clean as these European cities. I'm not sure. Okay, so we are right now on the orange line on the left side of the map, and we started at Plaza Catalunya, which is number 1 right here, and we're going down here southern bound. We should be around stop number 2 right here. No, a little bit further down. Stop number 3, which is El Born, the zoo. And we're gonna go all through here, throughout one of the parks, and up, 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 and then back down. This is the tour I took. It's the official Barcelona city tour, run by City Sightseeing, or it's run by Grey Line. I thought it was City Sightseeing, but run by Grey Line, and yeah, I'm digging it. Buenos días, Lorraine. Mika, hola. Darlene, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué tal, Susie? Marina says, is my accommodation good? Yeah, I'm staying in a room in an Airbnb, not full apartment this time around, because lodging here is pretty expensive, so I couldn't find something cheap.
twee. Is twee plekken.
Met dat chef aan. Niet snel uit.
Wow, such a gorgeous city. So Barcelona is located, and it is the richest city in Spain. Spain. Janice says no announcer on the bus. No physical tour guide. You get headphones, you plug in here, and there are 16 languages. George says, I try to always catch the bus when I first come to a city in order to get the layout fast. And then you can revisit the places later. Yep, I do the same exact thing. I really don't use the bus for transportation. I use it to just get a layout of the touristy areas of the city in one go. Then later on, take public transportation. So I agree, George. That's the best thing you can do. Tanya says brings back memories. Susie says my sister and her husband visit. Hey, that's so awesome. Susie, I hope you consider visiting yourself.
Zometeen. Oh, echt waar? Zometeen. Ik ken dit.
Oh.
Zie
Ik geef ons maar
zie je dan
informatie.
daarboven dat daar een heel mooi terras zit? Echt mooi met die planten
Mooi
helemaal.
bijgehouden.
Ja.
Het zijn wel 4. Hey, hier heb je 4 schoenen.
Ja. Dan moet ik die dingetjes daar niet op.
Darlene says, have I had my coffee? Yeah, it's just a packed bus. That's why I'm not talking too much. It's a bit awkward talking when the bus is packed. I've been surprised traveling through February and March. I am used to these months of the year being rather empty when traveling. But no, a lot of tourist places have been packed. And here even more so than Central Europe. Here I tried to go to Parc Güell, which is one of the more famous parks designed by Gaud, who also made the Sagrada Familia. It was sold out later in the day, like at 5 p.m. I was shocked that park ran out of capacity. They had to book in advance. So yeah, Barcelona. I can see why it's one of the most visited cities in the world. In the summer, I would imagine I probably would not have the patience to come here during the summertime. Is this the statue of Christopher Columbus? I think it might be. He says, I was there in Easter, I was so busy, it was uncomfortable. Yeah, it's a bit busy. Even right now, though it is bearable, but I can imagine in any peak tourist time, everything has to be booked in advance, really. This is a city I would recommend not taking a risk, even during the off season. Book all the Gaudi places in advance. For the bus tour, come early or late in the day in order to have it a little bit more calmer. Around midday, right now, close to midday, about an hour or so, this bus will be 100% full. I've seen it the past 2 days here. So here we see the teleferic, the gondola ride, and I want to take this one to the beach. This is cool. Darlene says, thank you so much for bringing us to Barcelona. Hey, Darlene, my pleasure. Thank you so much for being a mega urbanist. We have a lot of mega urbanists. I have like a huge number, like 40. You will be getting postcards. I was unable to send postcards to some during my Central European road trip because I was hopping around, and many Central European countries I went to, you had to go to the post office to buy stamps. You couldn't buy stamps at the souvenir shops or like a tobacco shop, which was a bit annoying. So you'll be getting a bonus extra set of postcards in order to make up for that. But stay tuned, there will be Spanish Barcelonan postcards. Kelsey says, how long are you here? I'm only here for 2 more full days. So 6 days in total. So Kay is right, we're right by the cruise port right now. Marina asks, how are you enjoying the food in Barcelona? It's tough. I love so far what I had. Yes. Oh. I've had so far what I've had, but the Spaniards, well, the Catalans eat at a time that I'm not used to. So I haven't enjoyed the full extent of food yet. But from the small bites I've had, it's been pretty good. I went on the tapas store and it was awesome. Susie says, have I completely worked for my sponsor? I've submitted already one video for review out of 2. The second one will show the entirety of my trip. The first one only shows like half of my trip. And you'll find out who I'm working with. I'm working with an airliner. But you'll find out soon who they are on my TikTok. They only sponsor my TikTok. They're not sponsoring anything else. So go Ariel Vieira TikTok. But I'll tell you who they are once I post the video officially. Darlene says, will you be going to Italy this year? I want to. I want to go to Italy again. George says, are you headed up the mountain? I went up yesterday to Montjuic, and it was awesome. I'll be posting clips of it on my Instagram stories, and maybe a short video soon as well. Here are the taxis. They're yellow and black, just like in New York, but more black than yellow. Camila, buenos días. Jeanette, nice to see you here. Welcome. Jeanette says has some churros. You know, I haven't seen too many churros. I think churros is more of a Madrid thing. I wish there were churros here. It's one of my favorite things I've had in Madrid. But I haven't seen a churreria here yet, which is a place for churros. Storm says, do I use a VPN abroad? VPNs would be not good for live streaming, so I don't use for live streaming, but I do use it for accessing Netflix, HBO Max, things like that. If I want to access like more American YouTube or another YouTube from a different country, I'll do that. So I'm subscribed to ExpressVPN. Susie says, I thought churros were Mexican. There is Mexican churros, which are a bit harder, and they're the Spaniard churros, which are a bit softer. Churros, I think, is from Spain. I don't think it's from Mexico. So right now we're in Montjuic, and we're seeing beautiful views of Barcelona. This is the main mount in the center of Barcelona. On top of it is a castle. Ron, a lot of Filipinos here, a lot of Filipino people who live here, Filipinos, Catalans, and also a lot of Filipino tourists here. Spain. Thank you so much for 200 stars. And Ron says, there's a quicker process to get visas here in Spain for the former colonies, which would include the Philippines. Yeah, oh yeah, that is interesting. That's why I see a lot of Latin Americans here as well. Ooh, that's a museum for Juan Miró. I gotta check him out. The Olympic Museum at Montjuic Mount. And here we seem to have the Olympic Stadium. Wow. So Ron asks, is it pronounced Barcelona or Barcelona? Catalans would say Barcelona. Most Spaniards would say Barcelona as well. Ron says there's a taxi simulator based in Barcelona. Hey, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about Midtown Madness? I think Midtown Madness 1 or 2 is in Europe. Darlene asks, will I be walking? Yeah, at some point I'll be walking. Stay tuned in the next 2 days. You'll see some walking in Barcelona. Camilla says, are you liking Barcelona? Is the atmosphere? Is it still a party city? I don't really see the party elements. It might be because it's the off season, but I really do like the vibe of the city. It is a very vibrant city. There's a lot of life on the streets. It's clean. The city's big. I feel generally safe. I know there's an issue with petty theft, but aside from that, I feel safe walking the streets of Barcelona. The people are very nice and friendly. So far, the friendliest place I've been to in Spain. The only other place I've been to is Madrid. And this is a night and day difference in terms of kind of this cultural warmth. So I can't wait. 6 days is too short for Barcelona. I could be here a month, I think, and see a lot more. And I'll be coming back to the city. It's stunning. For a tourist, I think make this a week trip. 3 days might be a bit too short for Barcelona. Ron says, what surprised you the most on this trip? The warmth of the people. As I mentioned before, Madrid is both my personal experience and also was stereotypical Madrid. People are very cold in Madrid. Not very friendly, not much warmth. I didn't see smiles. And I came to Barcelona kind of already expecting a similar cold type of atmosphere. But no, it has been the opposite. Warmth. People are happy to help. They're smiley. Very friendly service. Talkative. Really, really a night and day difference. Doug says, was that a museum? That was a museum. It probably was a fort at some point. It's called Poblano Español. Not entirely sure what it is. And then here we're seeing some other structure. This probably was not a fort. This probably was some type of infrastructure, a water station or a power station. But it's beautiful. This is Caja Forum. Caja Forum. Seems to be associated with cinema. Interesting. And here we have El Palau de Congreso de Barcelona. Palau de Congreso de Barcelona. Oh, just look at that. Palau. Just like Susie Palau, who tunes in on Facebook. Marie, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, Marie. Hope you have a great day. Forest Storm says, I would love to take street photos here. This is a great city for photography, street photography. A lot of people are well dressed here. You really have an international vibe. You have people from all around the world in this city. It's a very international, multicultural city. And the architecture is stunning. It's great for street photography. Ron says, now I know why Susie has a massive apartment in Bushwick, Brooklyn. That's funny. Darlene says, does Barcelona do bullfighting? No. Catalonia, the region which Barcelona is the city of, tried to ban bullfighting about 10 or 15 years ago or so. And then the Spanish government decided to repeal that because Spain feels like that's part of the culture of the country, but Catalonia, the region, feels like it's not, because they themselves don't feel Spanish. So, yeah, they're culturally speaking, there's not really bullfighting here. It's technically legal because of the Spanish government, but no one really practices it in Catalonia, including Barcelona. Bullfighting is more southern Spain, Seville. Marina says it's nice for you to speak Spanish for a change. Yes, it is. It feels very nice to speak Spanish. And I have an easier time speaking here than in Mexico, for example, because Puerto Rican Spanish is closer to Castilian Spanish than it is closer to Mexican Spanish. However, there's one downside. It's a bit frustrating. I speak Spanish to some people here, and some people respond to me in English, which is a bit frustrating. They just assume I'm a tourist. I'm not sure why. It's weird. They assume I don't know Spanish. And I keep speaking Spanish. Sometimes they keep responding in English. Not all the time. It's like 50-50. And it's a bit odd because, like, it's a stark difference from Greece. Greece, I say a few words in Greek and they automatically think I'm Greek. Terry says, thank you so much for bringing me to the Sagrada Familia. My pleasure, Terry. My pleasure. Thank you so much for watching. Dindin says it could be your accent, so they know you're a tourist. I know, but like, why don't they assume I'm a Spanish-speaking tourist? Why do they just assume I'm an English-speaking tourist? This appears to be the bus station. Barcelona Sands, yeah, it's the bus station. Paul asks, does everything shut down for siesta time? No. While Catalans do not eat during the day, lunch is fairly late, dinner is even later, and there's a long break between lunch and dinner. You'll still find things open, fast food is still open. Siesta here is not as serious as other parts of Spain. Christine asks, what's the temperature? About 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's where we came from earlier. Chris says you should answer their English and Spanish. Yes, I've had a few instances where I started Spanish, they respond in English. I know they're like either Catalan / Spanish speakers first, and then they respond in English, and I again respond in Spanish. And I've had like an entire conversation in terms of like ordering something where I'm speaking Spanish, they're speaking English. It's very weird. Surfboard dice, hola Ariel, parece divertido. Esto sí, es bien divertido aquí en Barcelona. Una ciudad increíble, la arquitectura es bellísima. Aquí sí vale la pena visitar. A mí me encanta Barcelona y tengo que regresar y próximamente voy a quedarme mucho más tiempo. Doug says, Ariel, you're a master tour guide. Hey, Doug, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that title. Thank you. Susie says they have huge trash containers coming to New York soon, I hope. Yes, I hope too, because Barcelona, look how clean it is. No trash bags in the street, no rats, no cockroaches. The sidewalks are spotless, almost. The streets smell clean. Firestorm says, speak more Spanish. Sí, claro, puedo hablar todo el español que tú quieres. Voy a preguntarme cualquier cosa en español. Estamos ahora en Barcelona, España. Una ciudad que hay tanto que ver. Muchas cosas, mucha comida buena. Las tapas son ricos. Aquí un placer estar en esta ciudad. So, Firestorm, thank you so much. Yeah, I love Barcelona. It's an amazing city. Lots of great things to do. Chris says there's not many cyclists. I think it's because we're mostly driving through I think this might be the eastern part of the city. I'm not entirely sure. Let me get my bearings. We're in the western part of the city. So, since we're in the western part of the city, I think it's a bit more cosmopolitan. There's a bit more taller buildings, a bit wider roads. And I think that's why we're not seeing as many cyclists. But if you go more to the center of the city, there's more cyclists, for sure. Dindin says, does the bus have any guides? No, it's rare nowadays in most cities to have a bus tour with a guide. You have to use headphones, which they provide, and they have 16 languages. Hey, Surfboard with the $10 super chat diciendo disfruta el día. Muchas gracias, Surfboard. Es un placer. Gracias. Esos $10 voy a comer un buen patatas bravas. O papas bravas. Aquí lo llaman patatas bravas. So thank you so much for the $10 super chat. With those $10, I'm gonna enjoy a good, what they call angry potatoes. Mohammed says, I like this town in Spain. Hey, Mohammed, yeah, this is one of the biggest cities in Europe, and yeah, I'm loving it. David says, mahalo for the views. David, my pleasure. Thank you so much for tuning all the way from Hawaii. That's awesome. Firestorm says, I should move to Europe. I want to. Barcelona is looking like a city I would live. I rarely experience this feeling where I am in a city that's big enough for me, because I don't like I don't like cities that are quiet. So Barcelona, it seems like a good place to live. Christine, thank you so much for the 100 stars. And Christine, thank you so much for, in general, all your super chats. I appreciate you. If you're enjoying my videos and want to access bonus content, you go patreon.com/urbanist, or you can leave a one-time contribution at paypal.me/arielvira. Helps cover the admission costs for bus rides like these when I cover a museum or a major attraction like the Sagrada Familia. Many parts of the road trip that I did in Western Europe and Central Europe. So thank you everyone so much who has left a contribution. Christine, Nicole, Laureen, many other people have left contributions over and over again. Victoria, thank you so much. Chris asks, is Barcelona walkable? Barcelona is very walkable. It is a very interesting city, and I will be doing a walking tour talking more about the urban planning. But in essence, this was designed by a man called Cerda, and he was tasked in the 1800s to build a grand city. However, he really enjoyed wide roads, but this was the age before the car. The wide roads were meant for horses, to provide a lot of space for horses to pass by so they wouldn't be trampling on people. And proved to be a really smart decision, because Barcelona is one of those strange cities where you have these huge roads and yet it's super walkable and friendly. It's because there's this separation between the road, which are like 3 lanes, 4 lanes, 5 lanes, or more, sometimes 6 lanes, and the sidewalk and the biking paths. So just imagine like Queens Boulevard in New York, but with a lot more trees, a separation between the cars and the walking paths, and restaurants with outdoor seating. That's what Barcelona does like everywhere in the city, which is very unique. It's something that I think we should really adopt in the US. Ron still wants me to discover Nebraska. But as I mentioned, one day you'll just randomly see me in Nebraska. I think the key to the walkability of the city is wide sidewalks. So yes, I think you can have big roads. And look at this is a 6-lane road right over here, 6 lanes. And yet the sidewalks are wide enough that people are walking. This is not a good example because this is an apartment block, but in other parts of the city you see businesses with open with outdoor seating on these large sidewalks, even though there's a gigantic road here, a strode. And usually these are very uncomfortable places to be at in most American cities, but they made it very comfortable, especially with the trees. And right here we have FC Barcelona.
Not that.
Hier is het een beetje absurd. Waarom die gaan eerder verzinnen dat ze al eruit willen? Oh.
So right now we're at Camp Nou FC Barcelona Stadium at stop number 14. And we're gonna go around, back to where we started. Wow, there's a long light. Yeah, finally we got green. Woo. What's the temperature? 60 degrees Fahrenheit, sunny, pretty humid, 67% humidity. So for all the curly-haired folks out there, including myself, watch out. You may get frizzy hair being here. Surfboard dice, tiempo para trabajar, gracias a Dios. Mi placer, que tenga un buen trabajo. Gracias por viendo este video indirecto. Wow, is that a new stadium for football? Let me know. Veronique says, "Are you going to the beach?" Yeah, I'll visit the beach. See if there's something interesting to show in the short video. Chris says, my wife and I have wanted to go to Barcelona to see Sagrada Familia, but is there more to see in Barcelona? Yes, there is. All the other architectural sites of Gaudi are worth it. I so far went to Casa Payot, Casa Mila, and Casa Vincennes. 3 houses built by Gaudi. Amazing, spectacular pieces of architecture. If you're a lover of architecture, these are worth it. This is unlike anything you'll ever see in your life. I've been to many house museums before that are kind of architectural landmarks in terms of like it's a famous architect, like Frank Lloyd Wright's home in Chicago. This blows it out of the water in my opinion. It's some of the best houses I've ever seen in my life. And I'll be posting clips of it on Instagram stories, Urbanist Live, and then maybe making a few short videos of it as well, so stay tuned. Beyond that, there is a lot of museums here. There's definitely food here to be discovered, and just walking around is a pleasure. It's very similar to Paris, so I would recommend staying here for a few days, minimum 5 days, I would say. And there's a nearby day trip you can do to Montjuic, which is a famous monastery, which I would love to go. I don't have enough time. But yeah, I would say ideally stay here for a week. I think you'll find plenty of things to do. Sunset Blue says, "Hey Ariel, I love Barcelona. Going back this summer. Would you recommend visiting I recommend visiting the Gothic area. I believe that they have one of the biggest football stadiums in Europe." Yeah, we passed by the football stadium, and I do love the Gothic area. I will be visiting again soon. Maybe live streaming from there. Sunset Blue says Barcelona beach is also wonderful. The Roman ruins are amazing. Hey, thank you so much. Susie says, I barely heard of one emergency siren. Me too, just in general on this trip. Sunset Blue says, I love grilled octopus. Oh, yes. Lots of great seafood to be had here. This is now one typical Spanish thing that is from Barcelona is paella, which is the seafood rice dish or meat rice dish. Lorraine says there's a restaurant called Sevilla in New York. Yes, one of the best Spanish restaurants in New York City for sure. Though the paella in Barcelona isn't as elaborate as the paellas in America so far. You know, they have less ingredients here. Marina says, why are the curtains closed? People like their privacy. Yeah. It's not like in New York where they have wide open windows, or like Netherlands as well. Maria says, were those parrots? I'm not sure. I think they were parakeets. Susie says, hay muchos balcones. Yes, there's a lot of balconies here. Maureen, you went to Granada in 1970. Yeah, I've heard many great things about Granada. Okay, hope to go at some point in southern Spain. Parkstorm says, do you think Barcelona has more impressive buildings than New York? New York's impressiveness is different, especially Midtown Manhattan. It's the skyscrapers, the sheer magnitude of the buildings there. And then New York City has quaint neighborhoods of beautiful like brownstones, Harlem, the Upper West Side. So to me, Barcelona is like one massive Upper West Side. The buildings are kind of in that similar era of the Upper West Side, but just way more of them. And I love it. Camelo dice buen día, Camelo. So right here we have Casa Milan, which is one of the most famous apartment buildings made by Antoni Gaudi, the same architect of La Sagrada Familia. This was an apartment complex funded by the Milan family. The Milan family owned one entire floor. It was also one of the first apartment complexes to have underground parking, and this was more than 100 years ago. And there's a series of sculptures up top. We can only see a few of them. The entire museum the entire experience is worth it down there. Someone's waving. Hey Lauren, thank you so much for tuning in. So this is going to be our last stop over here. We did nearly the entirety of the bus route, with the exception of like one stop more, where we started anyway. So I think it's better to end here with the view of Casa Milan. La Pedrera is what the museum is called. But if you're searching the guidebooks, they'll most likely refer to as Casa Milan. But look at this lovely. So this was the bus we were located in. And here, amazing lampposts. And look at this, wow. Highly recommend coming to this place. I went here on the night experience at 10 p.m. And oh my, it was a lovely, lovely time. So blown away by the sheer beauty of this place. I took a few clips, which I'll post on Instagram stories. So go to Urbanist Live. Look at the balconies. These are inspired by those leaves that fall, that end up twisting when they fall. They're dark brown. And you use a lot of materials to design this apartment complex. Suzy says, can you extend your stay? I wish I could. The sponsor is very specific with how many days I stay, and specific of where that I show the experience from New York to here. So I don't have too much flexibility in that context. But I'm grateful I was able to come here, nonetheless. Wow. And there's the restaurant, La Pedrera. It's a bit hard to pronounce, La Pedrera. right here, restaurant. I loved it. Amazing. Ooh. Ooh, Gimbal's freaking out. Oh, that was great. That was a long bus journey. Now I need some sustenance to round me up once again. But that was a wonderful bus journey. I do recommend taking it. This side of the city that we did take, a portion of it was a bit more slower. There's not much to see because it's more kind of residential. But there's the other half of the bus journey which goes to a lot more historic areas as well. But I'm loving Barcelona. Highly recommend coming here. It's a great city. Come here in the off season, which is like now, because this is sold out during the day, Casa Milan. You have to book in advance these places because it is a pain to try to go spontaneously. So come here during the off season if you can, because you'll enjoy Barcelona, I think, much better. And it is a wonderful city. Can't wait to show you a little bit more. I'll be doing at least 1 or 2 more live streams while I'm here. So stay tuned, and you'll see definitely short videos, and you'll find out who sponsored me to come here. They're a really cool airliner. You'll find that on TikTok. Ariel Vieira, those sponsored videos will be posted. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Keep being awesome, and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.